Hello and welcome. I'm a hotelier professional, and it is my absolute pleasure to warmly welcome all students of Euro Hotel School to your online learning journey. We're so glad to have you here. This program is all about giving you the practical knowledge you'll need in real hotel operations. Today, we're diving into a concept that's at the very heart of great service, mastering the flow. We're going to see how the best managers transform their role from just a series of tasks into a true art form. So the core idea, the central metaphor we use at Europe Hotel School is this. The dining room floor is a stage, and you, the manager, are the conductor. Just think about that for a second. Every single element, the staff, the guests, the kitchen, the ambiance, they're all instruments in your orchestra. Your job is to bring all of those moving parts together to create a beautiful, harmonious performance for your guests. So what exactly are we conducting? It's something we call the flow. You know that feeling when you walk into a restaurant and everything just works? The energy is right, the service seems effortless, the pace is perfect? That's the flow. It's this invisible, rhythmic pulse that balances an incredible guest experience with the operational needs of the business. And let me tell you, mastering it is what separates the good managers from the truly great ones. All right, a huge part of managing the flow is the idea of table turns. Now, I know this term can get a bad rap. A lot of people think it's just about pushing guests out the door as fast as possible. But that's not it at all. From a professional standpoint, a table turn is an invisible dance of hospitality. It's about gracefully honoring the guest who's leaving while simultaneously extending a warm, genuine welcome to the next one. It should feel seamless. A world-class performance never happens by accident. It all starts with a solid plan before the doors even open. The conductor has to be strategic. You're looking at that reservation book not just for names, but for patterns. You're identifying those potential pinch points, like when 3 large parties are all scheduled to arrive at 7:30 p.m. Spotting that ahead of time lets you stagger the seating, brief your team, and prevent total chaos before it even has a chance to start. The second a guest is seated, a clock starts ticking. That very first interaction is absolutely critical. A simple delay, just a few minutes before someone says hello or brings a glass of water, can throw off the entire rhythm of the meal. We've seen it add 10, even 15 minutes to a table's time. So a strong start isn't just about being polite, it's a strategic move that sets the entire tempo for their experience. So how on earth do you keep track of an entire room full of people at once? Well, the pros use a technique called soft eyes. Instead of zeroing in on just one table, you learn to scan the entire room, kind of taking in the overall energy. With soft eyes, you start to pick up on all the subtle cues. A menu that's been closed for a minute, an empty wine glass, or a guest just starting to look around for their server. These are the silent signals that tell you where you're needed next. And where does this flow begin? You got it, right at the front door. The host stand acts as the main control valve for the entire restaurant. Think about it. If the host quotes an inaccurate wait time or seats too many tables at once, it creates a massive bottleneck. That pressure backs up right into the dining room, the bar, and the kitchen. Managing guest expectations from the moment they arrive is just as critical as anything else you do on the floor. Now, here's where the psychology of hospitality gets really interesting. Look at this chart. Guest A had a 90-minute meal. Guest B had a shorter, 70-minute meal but had to wait 20 minutes to be seated. So, who do you think felt more rushed? Almost every time, it's guest B. Why is that? Because that initial wait creates a sense of time scarcity. It makes them feel like they're behind schedule for their whole meal. It's a powerful lesson that a guest's perception of time is often way more important than the actual time on the clock. Today, we have amazing technology to help us, right? Digital systems give us real-time data on every single table. But here's the catch. That tech is only as good as the people using it. If a server gets busy and forgets to update a table's status from occupied to dirty, you end up with a ghost table. It's empty in reality, but the system thinks it's full. True mastery is about blending that high-tech precision with high-touch human awareness. They have to work together. And remember, being a conductor isn't just about the people. It's about the environment itself. Simple things, like making sure there are clear pathways for staff to move through the room, or strategically placing service stations can save precious seconds on every single task. And you can go even deeper. You can subtly influence the pace with lighting and music. Brighter lights and up-tempo music, that creates energy. Softer lighting and slower music, that encourages guests to relax and linger. You are literally setting the stage. All of these little adjustments, and I mean little, they have a huge cumulative impact. The most efficient restaurants use silent communication, simple hand signals between the host and the floor manager to coordinate seating without missing a beat. It might seem small, but shaving off just a few seconds here and a few seconds there on every turn, well, that can add up to an entire extra round of seating by the end of the night. That's not just great service, that's operational excellence that flows straight to the bottom line. Now, of course, there are some things you can't control, and every manager knows the challenge of the camper, that guest who is happy to linger long after their meal is finished, while you have a reservation waiting. Handling this requires real tact. A classic and very effective technique is to graciously offer to move them to the bar or lounge for a complimentary after-dinner drink. This frees up your table, honors the next reservation, and makes the guests feel like they're receiving special treatment. It's a true win-win. So, with all these strategies and tactics, what's the one skill that ties everything together? It's empathy, plain and simple. It's about having the awareness to understand that a couple on their first date needs a very different pace and experience than a business group trying to close a deal. When you can truly read your guests and adapt the flow to meet their unspoken needs, that is when you elevate the experience from merely good to absolutely world-class. So I'll leave you with a challenge, a question to take with you to your very next shift. What is one subtle change, one small adjustment that you could make on your floor tonight to improve its flow? We are honored to support you on your learning path, and we wish you every success in your hospitality career.